Artpod. Arts for the Ears from the Collezione Maramotti. A collaboration with Doppiozero. Alberto Burri. Nero con punti rossi. 1956. Written by Claudio Franzoni.
For centuries, the word canvas has been almost synonymous with picture. So deeply rooted is the history of its use as a support for paintings of various sizes and kinds. In short, the part that we do not see, the underlying material, lends its name even to the image that covers it. In Alberto Burri's Nero con punti rossi, Black with Red Dots, 1956, the canvas is instead both front and back, top and bottom. Toward the end of the 17th century, the Flemish artist Cornelis Gisbrechts created a perfect trompe-l'oeil of the back of a framed painting, flipped around by illusion. But here, in Nero con punti rossi, the two canvases, the one we see and the one we can only guess at, are real. For several years, Burri had been incorporating pieces of burlap sacks into his work without hiding their stains, frayed edges, and signs of wear. This was not the first time that materials from everyday life had been directly applied to a painting. Picasso had done this, for instance, with chair caning. The space of life and the space of art were thus, through what was only at first glance a technical innovation, suddenly transposed, a crossing over that can be found throughout much of the art of the 20th century and up to the present day. Objects carry with them a lingering aura of past forms, other human actions. By choosing this rough jute fabric, Burri opened up another path, because the image of the sack, a container that has vanished from our visual horizon, is interwoven with distant memories, contrition and repentance, the sackcloth of the Middle Ages, but also the toil of manual labor, lifting, carrying, filling, and emptying. In the austere fabrics of Nero con punti rossi, we find other things as well. The folds of the canvas divide the picture into two horizontal sections, one above the other. In the lower one, the canvas has been cut 5 times, rounded openings, sometimes clean, sometimes slack-rimmed. Between two of them, a deep hole creates a sudden black void. All of this is covered by blackish paint, which only in the upper right has refused to spread over the canvas, leaving the rough surface and color of the fiber exposed. Here we find a tentative job of patching that holds together two pieces of the fabric and continues left across the picture like a fault line. Further up, along the boundary between the lower and upper sections, Burri has opened up a large oblong rift with ragged edges. A reddish thread attempts to restitch them, but they cannot be brought back together and allow us to glimpse the back of the support, where some small red blotches have been daubed. The acts of folding, sewing, and painting leave an echo of the artist's hand, but there is no other trace of living presence. And yet the large central laceration and its haphazard mending make our gaze seek out a body, human or animal. Even in the 1950s, the rips and tears that Burri inflicted on his sacks were seen as metaphors for abrasions, open wounds, and connections were drawn to his medical training. James Johnson Sweeney, the director of the New York Guggenheim, compared him to a surgeon. Long before Burri, for that matter, the image of a sack had been used to describe the wear and tear of bodies, how they sag and give way. An author of the late Middle Ages, musing on the fugacity of life, wrote that, "We are loomed and woven and cut as cloth is by a weaver." Scholars use the word catachresis, meaning misuse, to describe the rhetorical device whereby we extend our own existence to other things and say, the foot of the mountain, the leg of the chair, the lip of the vase. But it is a perfectly natural misuse because, every day without noticing, we look at reality in terms of our own bodies. We seek our own image in the shapes we encounter in the world. Mantegna saw faces in the clouds of one of his paintings, and Dürer espied others in the rocks above Arco. In Nero con punti rossi, we are looking at inert materials, but are almost forced to make out scars and scratches, bruises and wrinkles. But the artist is no surgeon. Flung onto the canvas, these wounds do not bleed, presenting themselves to us for contemplation from the proper distance, an opportunity for reflection rather than fear. Isn't that what we call the work of art?
an initiative with the support of Max Mara.